ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Dev, where today we evolve our traditional snake game with a little twist. Now, last time we worked on a foundation to create an expansive world for our snake game to exist. This was done through a literal world border and camera zoom controls. We also started working on a menu system and time control to be used with said menu system. They were promising starts that we're completely leaving behind. Indeed, reviewing the direction of the game made me realize the elements were working against each other, and therefore we'll be splitting the mechanics into two separate projects. So today we'll begin working on the first of those with our new concept. A game of Snake meets a game about breeding monsters. To begin work on this concept, we'll have to retool our current code. Once we've retooled it enough, we'll implement a new ticker system as part of the monster breeding process. Sounds crazy, I know, so let's not waste any more time and get to the coding. Now, it's been like 2 weeks since I've opened GameMaker and way longer since I've looked at the code for our snake game, so I'm gonna need a minute to get back into it. So in the meantime, let's quickly go over the new idea. The main focus of this project will remain on the snake gameplay. However, instead of building currency, the player will pick up eggs that will gestate and grow into fully grown monsters over time. Those monsters will then assist the player in fending off enemies, who will themselves grow stronger over time as well. The second part of the game is managing the monsters, keeping a mixture of fighting and prize monsters in the ever-growing lineup. And if all goes well, these two elements shouldn't clash like before, which should provide a much more complementary mixture. Now, everything isn't completely ironed out just yet, but there's enough there that I'm excited to see where it goes. So first up was drawing our egg version of the body piece, which will now of course be our monsters. Then in the body object, a type variable was added and the DSList entry was modified to include a nested array of data. It includes values for object ID, list position, type, state counter, and health. Then a new ticker script was created. In the script, any body object still in egg form would use the state timer value to count up. Once it reaches hatch time, the state timer is reset and the egg is switched to the monster state. And it's here that I was faced with the very real struggle of retooling pre-existing code, getting rid of all the old obsolete stuff. This took a while, but eventually things were ready to go. Or so I thought. Well, the code seemed to work properly, as the left-hand list shows. None of the eggs were counting up. So a ton of debugging and second-guessing myself occurred before I realized the mistake. I completely forgot to actually add the new ticker to the game. So with the ticker actually in, the eggs were now able to count up to their hatch state like they should. And with that, our code was now properly retooled to work with our new nested array system. So next, we had to make sure that the code was actually working with our new nested array system. So back in the code, in the destroy event, I created a new script and passed on the list position to that script. The script would then iterate through the list of body parts, snip the destroyed body from the list, and try to move anything below it up in position. This again would not work, and it was through several tweaks that I realized I was severely overthinking things. Another script was created which would refresh our snake's body's data. It literally goes through the entire list of body parts and reapplies their list positions so that the DS list and the object's positions within that list are all synced up. Then in the body code, the DS list position for the destroyed body part was deleted, and the refresh script was triggered. And just to double down, a body check script was added to make sure the list and bodies are always synced. And there we had it, a retooled version of our snake game to work with that monster breeder concept. A lot of this session was spent tweaking, deleting, and tweaking again, so while it may not seem like much has changed visually, believe me, we pretty much swapped everything under the hood out for new parts. The good news is next time we should be able to start focusing on the monster aspect a little more, and really start to see if what seems like a great idea on paper will work in practice. Well, that's next time. For now, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Let's Delve. So leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already, and leave your thoughts on this new direction in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.